Hi everyone, how are you? And welcome back to a new episode of Growth Hacks Experiences. My name is Juan Carlos, founder of Inspira Growth, and today I have the pleasure to have a great friend and a special guest. His name is Alexander Keehnen. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Alexander. This is something that is very important for you to understand the kind of a conversation that we are going to have today and why it's important for you to listen every detail. Alexander Keehnen is a visionary founder of Gaianet. Gaianet is a platform that brings together all contributors dedicated to shaping a new Earth, fostering a purpose-driven, open-source living lab. Now, that's about embracing the digital nomad lifestyles, but he's also a passionate advocate for personal development and growth, serving as an adept organizer, connector, personal counselor, mastermind facilitator, personality tester. We're going to discuss a little bit about it as well, an author, and a dynamic public speaker. Alexander, welcome. How are you?
Thank you, man. Thank you for inviting me. I'm good. Friday afternoon. What better way to spend it than having a meaningful conversation with a good friend?
Excellent energy. So, Alexander, we were talking about it in the introduction and before our recording, we were talking about Gaianet and what does it mean for you. Could you tell us a little more about this beautiful platform?
Yeah, Gaianet for me, like this is it. This is the thing. This is why I came into this life, into this world, is because we're living in an important time and a big shift is happening. Old systems are crumbling, are breaking down. Governments, the banks, the corporations who have been oppressing us for many years and still are, they're not going to solve the situation. And more humans are standing up, professionals, projects, to shape a new reality for humanity on Earth. New socio-economic system wants to be born where the heart is in charge, where the unity consciousness shines through. And that's what Gaianet is all about. You see here the globe with all the light dots. So this is about connecting all those bringers of light. It's a crazy pioneering project. It's beautiful, and most of all, it's really, really important for the world, for humanity, for Earth, that we facilitate a big shift here on this planet.
I'm very sorry, man. I started. So, Alexa, one, two. So, Alexander, we were talking before about Gaianet, this beautiful platform you are creating. Could you tell me a little more about it, please?
Yeah, Gaianet is where everything comes together that I learned previously in my career, my life, my personal development. And this is really the reason why I am here this lifetime on this planet, is to help facilitate this shift that humanity is about to make. The old systems are crumbling, the governments, the banks, the corporations who are destroying the planet, exhausting the rainforests, the oceans, exhausting humans, burnout, depression. It's clear the world is a mess and it's only getting worse. There are a lot of people who are realizing this and who are ready to step out of the system, who want to create a new game, come together as humans again, connect through the heart, create new socio-economic systems based on equality, transparency, fairness, return to live in harmony with nature, come together again in unity instead of the separation that we grew up in. So this is a big, big, big shift. And Gaianet is here as the connecting hub, a connective tissue where all these light workers you see here behind me, the globe with all the dots of light, that's how I see the world. There's beautiful people who represent this movement all over the globe. And Gaianet is here to connect all of these professionals, connect these projects, so that together, I call it team love, we can connect, share resources, and shape this new reality.
Team love. I love that. Beautiful. Yo, no, we were especially is certainly not far away. We were talking to another uh, person that I would love to introduce you about the amount of stress worldwide. Uh, almost 6 out of 10 people, in some countries even 8 out of 10 people, are having some sort of stress at the moment. So I completely understand what are the benefits. Why do we need these solutions, this consciousness and awareness of what's going on in the world? So creating a platform, Alexander, creating a platform that indeed is bringing people together, that is shaping the way how we see the world. It's not an easy job, and can imagine actually you have to go through some unique experiences so far. Could you tell us what do you think that in this moment the society is indeed doing so wrong at this moment, that so one of the, probably there is a long list, but there's one of the things that you consider that the society, that the humankind, that the people at this moment they are doing wrong and that they should stop doing right away?
Yeah, one of the main points is that the current society lives in total separation. So we forgot our tribal background. We humans, we are made to live in groups. And when we live in groups, in tribes, everything becomes easier. But in the current Western world, there's a big degree of separation. We have our own houses, our own things, our own everything. We keep our problems to ourselves. We don't ask for help. We try to solve everything by ourselves. And that's a big, big problem.
Wow, indeed, it resonates even with some of the things that I were lately saying about ego and service. How everything is about ego, 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 and how are we less connected to service, to community. Even the way how women have children now, it's all about we take care of our children. It's a hard job. It's a very hard job to have children. Uh, my respect to all the women in the world, yeah, doing this work for
Yeah,
society.
takes a
So
tribe. It takes a
it
tribe to raise a child, they say. It takes a
yeah,
village to raise a child, you know? And in line with the separation from each other, I just want to highlight the separation from nature. There's this belief in the Western world that we can conquer nature and that we can separate ourselves from nature. Well, guess what? We can't. Nature's everything and it's everywhere. Everything you can now see and touch in front of you is given to us by Mother Earth. Everything
yeah,
started out as a natural resource. And so a big part of this shift is also why Gaianet is called Gaianet, because Gaia refers to Mother Earth, is our return to nature. Instead of trying to separate ourselves from nature, find harmony with nature again, find harmony with each other. These are the key building blocks to this new reality in which life will be more fulfilling, more true, more loving, more effortless. It has to do with coming together again, realizing we are all one, realizing that everything is interconnected, that we are all family, brothers, sisters, souls experiencing this life through bodies, the universe observing itself, coming together in ways where we learn to share again and
yeah,
really come together.
yeah. It resonates indeed. Thank you. And coming from the perspective, like for example, now everyone working for having more and more and more entrepreneurs, founders, startups. There are so many companies being open every single day, and most of them they are being directed by the wrong direction, let's say, or the wrong objective. Money, let's say, especially one of the first ones that they come. Uh, what would you say that there are things that at this moment people are doing right, some of the things that actually like in this moment that people, entrepreneurs, business owners are doing right and that they should keep doing in the coming years?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, everyone is different, right? And everyone's on their own path, and every human is so multidimensional. We all do things right, and we all overlook things. Um, I think if you talk about business and entrepreneurship, I think this is key. We need a lot of entrepreneurs. And I think that in the new world, eventually everybody will be a freelancer, so to say. And I think it has a lot to do with really taking personal responsibility for our own development, our skills, our expertise, the value we bring to the world, and being rewarded in accordance with that. If you now look at all the goods that are created in the world, you really start to analyze the business processes and the waste that is created and pollution that is created in the production process, right? And you really make up the entire balance of a product, not just the financial balance. You will see that many of the things we're using are not sustainable. We don't only need to redesign the whole systems, how we live together, and governance structures and agreements, but also products and services. So we need that initiative, we need that entrepreneurship, we need superior solutions. Basically, for every object that is used in the world, we need a net positive variant. We need a variant that is more thought through, that is designed with the heart, and that is designed in a way that everybody wins, including the earth, including the people who are not directly financially involved in the process.
Correct. Correct. Well, there you have it, in entrepreneurs. We need you. We really need you. We need everyone needs to take the responsibility that this is a work from everyone and not just from a few. Considering that, Alexander, what kind of activity, what kind of message, what kind of we'll say, what kind of position should we take ourselves to start doing in our life, that there is something that actually that we still have not taken advantage of?
For me, it has to do again with coming together. Like, for example, coming together in circles has been a big one for me personally. Men's circles, women's circles, mixed circles, sitting together in circles as humans, as a tribe, and sharing what's going on, sharing what's on our hearts, sharing what we need, realizing we're not at it alone. People love to help, but they need to know with what you need help.
Correct.
So coming together in circle is one of the things I would like to suggest here.
That has to do also with the contribution you're mentioning, contributors being part of, because at the end, as being part of the circle is also being part of this, so this figure, this brotherhood, this sisterhood that we are being creating by bonding together, and feeling each other. I totally get it, you know. I had some recent experiences as well, with where I got together with over 500 coaches, business coaches around the world, and they all came with what non-expectations, and everyone just left full of love. So that was an experience. Do you have something similar as well? Similar in Gaianet?
Yeah, continuously. Like with Gaianet inside the organization and in the community and in the people we meet, like these are people who have a long personal development journey behind them already. These are people with relatively high emotional maturity who've done a lot of shadow work, and to come together in a setting like that where there are no more or way less projections and no expectations, and there's this recognition of yourself in the other, the whole vibe of being together and relating to each other changes. This feeling of oneness naturally emerges because people don't bring their own self-interest to the
Yeah.
forefront anymore. And when people become able to let go, like leave their ego at the door and just show up as nothing, as nobody, ready to serve the situation with whatever's demanded, that's when a beautiful flow emerges. When you drop your agenda at the door and you just show up fresh, ready to flow with the moment, with what wants to happen, and you act as a channel for the universe, a channel
Yeah.
for what the situation demands. New information emerges, new interactions, new insights, and it's that type of flow that has become my new normal. It's how I live since 3.5 years that Gaianet is underway. These are the people I'll surround myself with. I can no longer surround myself with people who are unable to do that,
Yeah.
because I feel it takes energy away from me and it makes me less capable of giving to the world. So this has been my new normal now, fertile ground where I can flourish. People around me who see my greatness and who mirror that back to me, instead of people who criticize me and point out all the things that are not right.
Yeah.
So I uplift myself, I uplift others, we uplift each other once we start to play that new game together.
Yeah. Wow. Wow, Alexander. So for the people that is watching in and following our conversation, I just want to tell you as well that I know Alexander for several years now, and we had a very interesting episode a few weeks ago, just only, where we met again in the airport of Cancun when we were coming back to Europe, both of us. We hadn't seen each other for a few years. That's how we connected as well today. And I have been all about discovering myself, and I have been trying all these tools, personality tests, watching things online, reading books about how to apply neuroscience in myself. But something that I never had done, and something that actually that Alexander showed me in just a few hours, was how to connect my body to my personality, and how to understand the ways how a physical test could give me important information for my development. Could you tell me a little bit? Could tell us a little bit about that as well, Alexander?
Yeah, man, this is like one of my passions since a couple of years now. I'm starting to become pretty obsessed with it. Is the MBTI, Myers-Briggs Typology Indicator. It's a very famous model for understanding personality preferences. Started out with Carl Jung, famous psychoanalyst, actually already with the ancient Greek, who made a distinction between four types of humans.
Yeah.
And now there's recent science that has shown how you can test the body to find out your Myers-Briggs personality type. So no more questionnaires, surveys, which are very unreliable. They give different outcomes at different times for all kinds of reasons. You can test the body, go beyond all those layers of the mind, because it turns out your personality is the result of your motor skills. So how you move your body comes first in the womb as a child crawling around. With those movements, you shape your first neural connections. You repeat the movements to create neural pathways, neural highways. And at later age, you use the same neural pathways to process information, steer your attention, make choices, interact with the world. So, how you are, what type of person you are, is just a natural outflow of how you move your body. And that was just
Yeah.
mind blowing insight for me. I never realized that before.
No, and it made me trigger, but because the MBTI, the Myers-Briggs analysis, I have done it several times, and the results were different. If we recollect, the results were different of what I normally get. I even took it just a few months ago because of the business coaching that we do with Mind Valley, but it was different, and it resonated that how we want to do things with our brain, with our mind, not necessarily always connect how we do things in reality, and how our body really reacts to situations. That was very insightful for me as well.
Yeah, it's just you cannot ask the mind who you are because the mind doesn't know. That's the crazy thing, you know. I remember, you know, seeing these 16 types and looking at, oh, that's a cool type. I want to be that type. And then I answer the questions and I know very well, should I choose B or C? C will lead more to this type of type, B more to this type. And I end up choosing one based on that. But my mind doesn't know. My mind is programmed by what other people told me about me. They also don't know. My mind understands the words in the questionnaire differently than the creator of the questionnaire does. Not alone to speak of the algorithm that translates answers into an outcome and the mood I'm in. When I'm happy the peppy, I may answer differently the next day when I feel down.
Yeah.
So for all these reasons, like you cannot ask the mind who you are through this questionnaire. Now we see it's rooted in the body. It doesn't change after age 6 or 7 because movement all day, every day, it repeats the pattern and creates such deep engraved patterns in this record that is your mind. So that was a
Wow.
big game changer. And also, I turned out to be a different type than questionnaires showed me. I took a few over the course of my career, 2 or 3. They were different outcomes. And eventually, the body test showed again a different outcome. 2 letters were different. Took me a few months to get used to the idea,
Yeah.
really. Now, looking back, it's been in all the personal development things I tried out, which is hundreds, if not 1,000 plus tools, techniques, methods. I'm a personal development junkie. I'm obsessed with this stuff. This has been one of the most impactful ones. I would say top 3 for sure. Um, Plant medicine
Wonderful.
has been big too, but this one, it gave me a roadmap to understand
Yeah.
myself, a blueprint, a user manual for how to operate this body mind system that I lived this lifetime in.
Wonderful, wonderful, indeed, and that brings us to Alexander. Do you know if more and more persons that are connected to the search of how to know ourselves, and they would like to meet you? Could you tell us a little more of how they could connect with you? What are the next steps that where they could find such knowledge for themselves?
Yeah, for sure. It requires physical meeting, right? Because we need
Yeah,
to test the body, so we cannot do that through Zoom. Um, there's my website, alexanderkeehnen.com, and there you can click on personality profiling to understand more about how it works and how to agree a meeting. I travel over the world, you know. I was in
yeah,
Mexico earlier this year, in Brazil, in Portugal. Right now I'm in the Netherlands, so you just need to be lucky to
yeah.
catch me. Follow me on Instagram maybe to find out where I am. But there's one opportunity that I can specifically highlight now.
Please, please tell us.
Um, in August, I'll be on Ibiza for a month,
Okay.
7 August to 6 September, to host a co-living retreat. So that's a community experience with light workers. People want to live from the heart, soul searchers. People want to connect with their purpose. And I'll be there for the month. And there are still some spots available to come by, spend a week with us or longer. And there, yeah, it's basically day one. I will test your personality and we'll use that as a frame of mind to look at the goals, the questions, the challenges you're taking along into that experience. And we'll have some time also to talk more about it and see how it applies to your life, to your flow, to the choices that you need to make. So it's really a beautiful zoom out moment. You know, it's summertime
Yeah.
now. Before you set direction for the rest of the year, this is a moment to connect, have quality time together, and really help set that direction, the most aligned way forward for you for the remaining 4 months of the year.
Wow. Wow. Ibiza, continuous search, a group of individuals searching for personal growth to the and high performance, knowing themselves. How is it called? What is the name of this experience?
We call it the lighthouse.
Wow.
It's it's a place to reconnect with the light It's a beautiful place in nature, at the end of a dirt road, on the side of a hill. It's on the calm side of the island. Only invited participants there, so people from my network or via that we know, we feel they get it. So also these elements I mentioned earlier in the conversation, connecting
Yeah.
to nature, connecting to each other, being in practice, being in circle, diving deep inside ourselves, having open conversations with the people around us, brothers, sisters who only want the best for us. Really a place to reconnect, refuel, connect deeply within ourselves. Because
Wow. Yeah. And you mentioned it can be a week or it can be longer.
yeah, right now there's still space. It's minimum 1 week, can be longer
Okay.
too, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah, we're there for a month, so maximum a month.
Oh,
There's place for in total 10 people. There are 3 space holders, so that means 7 guests. Some people will come for a week, some people come for 2 weeks. And yeah, we just go with the flow. Right
yeah.
now, we started this like a month ago, and now we're informing our circle, and it's starting to fill up.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And all the best in this is a great work with Gaianet, with the Lighthouse. Alexander, thank you very much. Thank you very much for this moment. Everyone, there you have it. We're going to make sure actually that we have all the information about Gaianet, about Alexander, how you can contact them while he's in the Netherlands. And if you're interested about the Lighthouse and Ibiza, we're going to make sure as well to describe all the information for you as well here. I thank everybody. Alexander, any last word?
Ooh, like I wish that a beautiful one-liner would now come out of my mouth.
When you were saying we were talking about the mind. You know what it came to me? Like I was like a quote that I read the other day. The mind is a excellent servant, but it's a terrible master. So if you don't have that very clear and you let your mind be your master, you are in trouble. That's how I connect very deep as well with what you're telling us on how to know ourselves better.
Hmm.
Alexander,
Oh.
thank you very much, man. Everybody, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, and I see you soon to the next time in Growth Hacks Experience. Please don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow one on next ones. Alexander, have a wonderful time as well in the coming days. Take care, everybody. Ciao.